Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
The views and opinions expressed by the Orc of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, are of my own and no one else, nor do they reflect Beyond Ringside. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night, live from Xanadu, out here in tranquility itself. I'm the Oracle of Ominous, the Architect of Inlet, the Wicked Nemesis, and tonight we have a packed show for you. We're going to jump straight into it. The host of Beyond Ringside, my producer and co-host extraordinaire, the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Eddie, how are you doing this evening, sir?
The game just got stepped up. It is genuinely a Wrestling Wednesday in more ways than one, with Impact, Ring of Honor, and Lucha Underground all on in one night. And you got the TBD backing it all up. And trust me, we're loaded and ready to shoot.
Oh yeah, buy the ticket, take the ride tonight, indeed. And the Sevenfold Saints own former GCW World Tag Team Champion, former UIW World Champion, let's say. We'll just throw that out there. And of course, the former Peach State Wrestling Alliance Tag Team Champions, the one and only Grand Design, Clyde Braddock. Braddock, how you doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Just living life and living the dream and loving every minute of it.
I think we can make a rock song about that.
I want to dance on top of a car right now.
Oh my God. We're going to dance it off. And you heard the voice, my much better half, and the nurse extraordinaire after this past Saturday night at GCW. Angie Travis, how you doing tonight, Angie?
I'm recovering nicely now, thank you.
Oh, we are having a hell of a time. Tonight, we're starting right off the top. He is the UIW Heavyweight Champion. He is the GCW Heavyweight Champion. He is a former two-time NWA World Tag Team Champion and part of the spirit of GCW, as we were called this past Saturday. The real deal, AJ Steele, or the Making Monster. How you doing tonight, sir?
You guys sound like you guys are in a really good mood, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still pissed off because my face is still hurting, and I still got a headache, and I'm still pissed off.
Okay, let's jump straight into it. We all have...
Can I interrupt? How is your neck, sir?
I mean, at this point in my life, everything on my body hurts. Everything hurts because, I mean, clearly, once again, for the second time, I got my ass beat inside of a cage by a number of people because clearly they knew that they were going to lose and they had to figure out a way to cheat. And I'm sorry for jumping the gun, but I mean, it is what it is, and I'm hurting.
Well, the question, the $1 million question, I guess, would be, or the $100,000 question, with the beating that took place, with everything that took place Saturday night, you were completely left laying by the entire powers that be foundation.
Incapacitated.
Incapacitated, yes. Right there. Are you anywhere near where you need to be for this Saturday after all that?
No, I'm not. But you want to know what I am, and I'm gonna keep continue to say it. I'm pissed. I'm determined, and I promise you, people are going to say, well, AJ gets on here and he talks about what he's going to do. And, hell, I did part of what it was that I said I was going to do. I was going to come here and do stuff that you've never seen me do, and throwing O'Hagan's little bony ass from one side of the ring to the other was part of what I wanted to do, and I did it. I didn't get a chance to do all of the other things that I wanted to do. But, hey, I'm not going to bitch and moan about that, because this Saturday, one of those Florida boys, because I don't think that Mad Dog Dan Sawyers has got the balls to show up in Monroe, Georgia. But if he does, I promise you, one of those guys is not coming back to Florida hell, they're not going to go back 50%, much less 100%, because I'm breaking something on one of their bodies. You guys can take this as a joke if you want to. You can think it's a game. But like Eddie just said it, the game just got changed. You just stepped it up to the next level. And if you thought that I couldn't go up anymore and I couldn't go to a next level, I promise you I'm going to show you this Saturday night. All games are over. All bets are off. The gloves are off. The tape is off. The boot is going to be off because I'm putting my foot so far up your ass you're going to taste my sock.
Also, this bleeds into a whole nother company. You have so much on your plate. What is keeping you from being distracted from everything that's going on?
Nothing is keeping me distracted. Let's go ahead and throw Jagged Edge into the equation. We got Jagged Edge, we got Frankie Chiazzo, we got Simon Says, we got Mike Cruz, we got, I believe, Leo Gold, who is a part of their little king of the Queens of Florida. We got all of those people, and we got AJ Steele. But see, what they don't understand, and I'm trying to tell people is, you got AJ Steele, you got Logan Creed, you got Drew Adler, you got Gunner, TNA superstar Gunner, and there's a couple of other people that are going to be in the locker room that just so happen to have a problem with the Florida boys and Jagged Edge. I'm not going to say no names, but I guarantee you those boys are not going to leave Monroe, Georgia the way they came in. Somebody might need a helicopter ride back to Florida.
Eddie, I know you're chomping at the bit, so you go right ahead, sir.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and lay it out there like this. You made the reference to you're not going to say this and you're not going to say that. Well, I'm going to lay it on the line. When the match was originally signed for Global Warfare 2015, the cage elimination match, I've always believed that, yes, there is some honor among thieves, because there has to be a certain amount of respect, even for those who have no respect. And in this particular case, I thought, okay, fine, guess what? They've been eliminated. They understand the concept of there needs to be a definite winner. In my book, there was no definite winner, because what they pulled this past Saturday night in Pell City was nothing more than sheer, total, unadulterated horseshit. It wasn't bullshit. It was horseshit. Look, I understand the concept of trying to take somebody out of action. But to pull it 5-on-1 the way that they did, and I didn't think, look, I got to give credit where credit is due on this. For Sawyer to get up after the dark cloud through a table, that impressed me to a degree. But for everything else that transpired, locking the cage, keeping everybody else at bay, if it wasn't for the fact that I was under restraining order from the front office of the company and the board of directors because of a situation that occurred in 2013, I was ordered to go nowhere near the cage. I tried to play that off before the match started, but I was under orders to not go near the cage. I would have tried to find a way to get down there and pick the damn lock. Chiazzo says, call themselves the Circle of Disrespect. I'm hoping sooner or later that circle gets cracked. I mean, there's 100 things I want to say, but only a few that I can say, and even less that I will say. First off, AJ, I'm glad that you're up and mobile. I keep getting hit with messages all the way across the board. Everybody knows I run the Global Championship Wrestling social media. I've been getting it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and MySpace. What's the condition of AJ Steele? That's one of the reasons why I'm glad you came on tonight. That way they don't have to hear it from me. They can hear it from you. To be able 24 hours later to get up and move around after what happened inside that steel cage in Pell City, Alabama, sir, you were a hell of a man. And you have my respect. And
I appreciate it.
I will sit back and say this. I'm going to go ahead and lead into this. Because of the way the contract was written, that if a champion was pinned as a final result of Global Warfare in the cage elimination, the person who scored the pin would receive a match with the champion that suffered the pin. Kind of hard if Dan Sawyer would have pinned Spiral, but still that could have actually taken place. He could have appointed a suitable substitute. But when Sawyer was the one who officially pinned you, he automatically got the title shot because of the way the contract was written. If the role had been reversed, you'd have been given a shot at the tag team titles. So on June 27th in Pell City, Alabama, I'm not a miracle worker by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not even going to sit back and say that I'm a pissed off son of a bitch who's willing to stack the deck as only the commissioner's office can. What I'm going to say is I'm going to do everything that I can within the letter of the law from the front office of Global Championship Wrestling to make sure that the one-on-one match between you and Dan Sawyer for your GCW Heavyweight Championship is a one-on-one matchup, because I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of the outside interference.
Well, I tell you like this, Eddie. If you can make that match happen, if you've never believed anything that I've ever said to you, and I told you just a week ago, or it may have been 2 weeks ago, I told you that I don't trust a lot of people. And it's very, very good reasoning that I don't trust a lot of people. But I guarantee you, you trust me when I tell you, if you can make this match a one-on-one match, look at it from my point of view. Dan Sawyer tried to, not only did he try to end, the match and possibly my career, but what was the deal with punching me in the face with a chain and choking me to the point where obviously I couldn't breathe and my face is blue? I mean, hell, it's hard to turn a black guy blue, right? I look like a Smurf.
I believe it's fear. I believe it's genuine fear, because I've watched your body of work progress and develop over the last couple of years, and you continue to get stronger. You continue to become more dominant. You continue to take less crap from anybody, and you didn't take much to begin with.
Well, if you think that was something, wait until Dan and I, one-on-one, GCW, Pell City, Alabama.
Well, I think
it is so going to be so violent, because I have nothing to lose. He can beat me for the title. He can cheat and do whatever he wants, which he won't do. He can try to beat me for the title. I'm trying to take something from him like he tried to take from me. You want to end careers. You want to hurt a person so that they can't provide for their family. So if that's what you want to do, now, like you said, the bar has been raised. The stakes are 10 times higher than they were. And let's not forget about Frankie. Let's not forget about Frankie. Because where Dan is, Frankie's not far behind. Those guys, for the second time, have tried to end my career. So now that I know what their game plan is, I'm going to flip the script, and I'm going to do some career ending of myself.
Clyde Braddock, you were there as well. You were a part of this. Anything you have to say about this before I go on my rant, of course, or anything you would like to say to Mr. Steele?
Well, since this is the to be determined show, I can kind of say it in an unfiltered way. Simon says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna end your wrestling career."
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna end your wrestling career.
I would help hold it too, man.
I'm serious. He grabbed that chair and hit me 4 times in the head with it, and everybody's seen it. I got a bone to pick with Mike Cruz too, because he Irish whipped me into one of the chair shots. I mean, I was bleeding everywhere. It was horrible. And
Beautiful
I
face.
still got a knot the size of a small grapefruit on the back of my head.
Clyde,
And-
somebody stole that chair and took it home with them for a souvenir. It was honestly, one of the fans grabbed that.
Oh, and I know some of the people ran off with some of the
I've seen
table
on
too.
The second one that it broke the chair completely.
Yeah.
The second chair shot broke the chair completely, right? That's why they took it.
Yes, the second one and then the third and fourth one were to your back, but by then the damage had been done. You were bleeding.
No, they were all to the dome, sir.
I
One
thought
of them might have been to the back,
Oh, no.
but 3 of them were to the dome.
Right. And they were at right beside me, so I can verify.
Everything got kind of foggy to that.
Now you were protecting Steve Styles, who was already injured going into the match.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. The Circle of Disrespect, they came out there and wanted to basically try to make a fool out of Steve Styles, a man who was hurt, and said that we can't have too many people out of this, and I have to be in it. And he stepped up to the plate, and for him to go in first too, to be drawn to go in first, I mean, he's the hell of a guy. So whenever I got out there, I threw Simon into that cage, and then I slammed the crap out of Chiazzo twice. Got hit with the Full Metal Jacket. Chiazzo ain't never been thrown like that in his entire life.
I think he was the first one busted open out of everybody.
Yeah, he was scared to death.
Clyde went right after him. Now I'm gonna say this.
He sure did.
AJ.
I wanted to say one more thing too. Everybody in that cage felt some part of Braddock getting fucking crazy, because I mean everybody's just running into everybody. Well, I'm slamming your fucking back out in the middle of it, because that's what I do. Forearms, punches, stuff like that. Well, you're gonna piss me off sooner or later, and I'm gonna throw your ass to the mat. So I think we made a statement there, even though what happened, we still made a statement that we're a force to be reckoned with. Go ahead, sir.
You were 100% correct about that. AJ, I had actually stolen the chain away from Dan, and it was 5-on-1, and AJ was on his feet at the time, so I threw the chain in there to try to get AJ some type of help, because they had already locked the cage with a set of handcuffs. And
Teddy.
Teddy did. Was it Teddy?
It was
I
Teddy.
wonder who it was.
Yeah, it was
And
Tutwiler.
Jeffrey Bell coming out and taking out Pandora. I mean, it was chaos. But I want to say this: Dylan Cook come out like a house of fire.
He did.
I think somebody owed Dylan Cook some money in that match. Braddock, you were in there.
Dylan Cook might have owed somebody some money. I don't know.
No, I think somebody owed him money the way he came in there.
AJ, do you think that Dylan and Leon, because I know that they were huge X factors in this, do you think they gave it their all? Because I think that they did. I believe they went out there, and I was steadily coaching. I don't know how much they'll be able to use, because there was a lot of cursing involved. I'm sorry to the roaming cam. Sorry to the production crew. I guess you can edit that out. Bleeps something. I was doing everything I could. Do you feel those guys gave it their all? Because I know you gave it your all. You made a statement. Braddock made a statement. Steven made a statement even going in there with a bum leg.
And Stain.
Sounds good.
I'm glad you asked me that, Wicked, because I didn't want to cut anybody off, but I want to say from the bottom of my heart that each and every one of the guys on our team gave it their all. Every one of them. And especially Spiral. Because when you climb your crazy ass up to the top of a cave
Hell yeah.
and jump off onto another man, whether he's on a table or not, because clearly we know he don't give a damn what's at the bottom of that pool, whether it's water in it or it's not. he's going to do it. I have nothing but the utmost respect for each and every man that was on my team, and Pandora for coming out there and trying to put forth, and help out with what she did. I respect all of the guys. We all talked before, and I talked with Dylan, and I asked him, was he nervous? And Dylan was walking around with a shirt on that said something to the effect of he was ready to die for what he believed in. And I cut a promo about a tank and about a juggernaut, and I'm sure Clyde Braddock is probably giggling his ass off right now, but I cut a promo.
If you could see the smile, it would be ridiculous.
He's smiling right now. But we have all had issues with each other. We have all had battles with each other. We have all beaten each other up. We've all bled together. We've hated each other. We've respected each other. We went in that cage with one thing and a common goal, and we all wanted to get rid of. There's a lot of words that I want to say about those guys.
Ditto that.
But I understand, but I respect each and every one of those guys, and I know they gave it their all. And nobody showed up to lose. He didn't show up to lose. I feel bad because I got pinned. But I mean, and I'm not the guy that's going to sit and bitch about the odds and 7-on-1 or 5-on-1. I don't care. We were there to go to war, and that's what we did. But the problem with this is the war is just starting. These fuckers think that the war is over. They think that the war is over. The war is just starting. The only difference is we're not all inside of a cage. Frankie, do you honestly think that I can't get in my car? A lot of you guys know me on a personal basis. You know the kind of guy I am. I'm a really cool, really laid-back guy. But you guys know how I am when I get pissed off. There ain't nothing stopping me from hitting I-75 South and taking my ass down to Florida and whooping Frankie's ass at a Walmart. Mike Cruz...
actually, it'd be at the thrift store.
Mike Cruz is nothing but a tall midget.
Same thing can be said about Josh.
Mike Cruz, you think that I bet his back is still hurting. I guarantee you his back is still hurting. Because I about left his spine in Pale City.
Clyde worked on it.
Yeah, Clyde, that's from the top of the cage. Holy shit.
Exactly. Joshua O'Hagan is still just as irrelevant. He was not relevant before the match. His little ass ain't relevant now. You were still nothing more than a tick on Mad Dog's ass. That is the only reason that you were even in that match. And you know what? He's not even a tick on Mad Dog's ass. He's one of Mad Dog's balls. And every now and then, Mad Dog gives his balls some attention. A dog will clean his own balls. No! So, O'Hagan, you think that you did something? You did. I felt like somebody was like pinching me. Yes, I was getting my face kicked in by some men, and then there was the little chihuahua that was yapping at my ankle. And O'Hagan, I didn't like you before, and I hate you now. And if you wanted my attention, you got it. You got my attention. Who else was it? Simon said. Yeah. You know what? There's so. I've said it once before. When I was a kid, I had a Simon Says game. And you know how when you used to press the wrong button, it'd make that noise? You know what I did? I fucking broke it. I smashed the machine. I broke it. Simon, I'm going to do you the same way. You're going to wish, Simon, please, don't come back to Pale City.
Well, the Circle of Disrespect definitely has the Sevenfold Saints' attention. I always thought that you would have broke the Psalmist Says because it didn't have a black color on it.
Damn!
I mean, even Rubik's Cube, I think.
Hey, well, let's pretend that Simon Says is the game with the black piece on it. Because when I get finished with his ass, he's gonna be black and blue.
And green.
Yeah, 'cause
And
right
green.
now it's like lighter than
And
me.
purple.
If that's even humanly
He's got more head than he's got body, AJ. It's ridiculous.
It's all right. It's all right. Those guys got hell to pay. And, Saturday is rapidly approaching. It's coming up, and you're right. I got up Sunday morning, and I feel like I was ran over by a fucking truck. But the problem is, I got up Sunday morning. I got up Sunday morning. I stood up on my own like a man, just like every other man that was on my team did Sunday morning. We all got up out of bed. We all were battered. We were all bruised. We were all beat up. But each and every one of the team that I was a part of got up on Sunday morning. And if we had to get up on Sunday morning and get our asses right back in that cage Sunday night, every one of them would have been there to do it.
Yep.
That Saturday night, AJ, is that we had a bunch of definites and no maybes on that team.
No maybes at all. No maybes at all. Dylan Cook, and I don't give a damn. Dylan Cook, you got a lot to learn about this business. You got a lot to learn about the ins and outs, the respect, the back, behind the scenes, the everything. You still have a lot to learn about this business. You'll learn the easy way or you'll learn the hard way. Bull's got a lot to learn, but he's willing and he's able. You guys already know my opinion. Steven Styles, I don't have a problem with Steven. I think Steven is another one. I mean, hell, there probably ain't a better drop kick in the business than Steven's. Clyde Braddock, in my opinion, is the future of professional wrestling. And I'm not going to steal all in. The future is looking bright. No. You guys laughed about the Tank. Clyde Braddock is the new Tank, in my opinion. Spiral, in my opinion right now, is by far the most talented person in GCW. So what my team brings to the table, I see two things. I see a handful of guys that I have nothing but respect for, and I see a handful of guys that at any given night will give AJ 150% if they were to try to take the title from me, and I will give them back 150% anytime any one of them want a title shot. Because we are all men and we all respect each other. On the other hand, I see a handful of bitches that are going to get their asses dealt with this Saturday. For the ones that show up, they're going to get beat up. For the ones that don't show up, Dan Sawyer, I guarantee you when I come back to Pearl City, things are going to be a little bit different.
That shindig is going to be a hell of an event. I mean, we can't say that enough. This has been building for some time. As we said, there'll be a lot of people that on the shindig number 2. On one side, Jagged Edge, Francisco Simon Says, and Jacob Ashworth. Now, we haven't really spoken a lot about Jacob. I like Jacob. Jacob is a hell of a wrestler. I saw him come up through Cornelia. I saw him come up through, of course, NWA Anarchy, as it was at the time. That man, I'm just going to say this, is the X factor in that match. Jacob has trained his ass off, and Jacob has learned a lot in a short period of time, and he has learned from some of the best. Then you have yourself. You have Logan Creed. Logan Creed, an amazing athlete, and but of course, once again, somebody else that has fallen to the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock. But I digress. Drew Adler, amazing talent as well. One of the best tag teams going out there. I believe there's I believe no, they don't have a name.
I don't know.
Him and Colt Calloway, I don't think they do. Do they have a name? Anybody know?
Not that I know of. They don't.
They're fetching tights. I figured they might have a name.
Drew and
Yeah,
that's it.
Drew and Colt. There you go, Drew and Colt. Drew's awesome. Colt Calloway's getting really good.
Wasn't it Next Gen?
Is it next gen? I don't know.
I don't know, but
It's just Drew and Colt.
I think that
you
Drew
guys,
got the best.
I think they should come up with a name for each other. Wicked, you know, you and I respect each other as well, and we've had our differences in the past. Hell, when you first broke into the business, we've had our differences from the beginning. But we respect each other over the years. We grew to respect each other and as men, and you know, you and I have a common bond in another man that we both know and we respect. However, Jacob Ashworth, in my opinion, is, how much does he weigh? I think he's like 224 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think he's like 224 pounds of steaming bullshit. He's a piece of shit. Okay? That's what I feel about Jacob Ashworth. Now, I know that you don't share the same opinion, and that's fine. The only reason why I feel that way about Jacob Ashworth is because, like I always say, if you want to fight me, I'm 280 pounds. As a matter of fact, as of today, I'm 281 pounds. If you want to fight me, I have never hid behind anybody. So don't stab me in the back. Don't come behind me and try to steal something from me. Don't hey, you can get my cell phone number. You can call me. Hey, AJ, I want a title shot. I'll give you one. So, Jacob Ashworth, piece of shit. It's also the debut of Shane Marks.
Oh.
To me, this is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You also have Gunner on your team as well. An amazing
Absolutely.
athlete and one of the best in the business, and also the future of the business. Very underrated. But go ahead, and I know what you're about to say. You go right ahead, sir.
Luke Gallows versus Shane Marks is one of the matches that I feel is going to be one of those show stealers. However, Jagged Edge has aligned himself with Shane Marks, and I told Jagged the other day, I did a podcast on somebody else's show, and I told Jagged the only reason why he has Shane Marks on his team is because he knows that Shane Marks could whip his ass, because Shane Marks is 10 times more talented than Jagged Edge. And to be completely honest with you, Shane Marks should be the SFCW heavyweight champion and not Jagged Edge. And one other thing about Shane Marks is another big-ass piece of shit. Instead of doing what men do and come to another man and say, let's fight. Let me have a title shot. Okay, that's how that works. It's very simple. There is no pecking order, or I don't care about number one contenders, or I mean, if you're a number one contender, in my opinion, you should be the next one to get a title shot. However, if somebody comes up and says, I want a title shot, the number one contender's just standing around with a thumb up his ass, I want a title shot, I'm going to give you one. Shane Marks, great athlete, talented performer, talented worker, piece of shit.
Also, Judas, excuse me, Michael Judas versus Dark Mon, two powerhouses. They're going to beat the shit out of each other. And if there wasn't reason enough to go to Shindig 2 with all that going on, you have a matchup that most of us have seen and has been done, I swear to God, may lightning strike me dead, this matchup has taken place over 1,000 times and has been different every single time. History was made one night at the Masquerade in Atlanta. The first ever women's first blood match occurred in the history of Georgia wrestling, period. Dimension DeRose against Kalma Kabah and Pandora. They beat the fuck out of each other. They beat the shit out of each other in Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and those are the ones that I was just a part of. So, these girls, this is going to be a match you do not want to miss. On top of everything, AJ, your thoughts on this match?
In my opinion, we already know that. I mean, Dementia DeRose is a psychotic bitch. She comes to the ring with a knife. I mean, it doesn't get much more sickening than that. Like, she fucked up. And, yeah, you know that. Say that again?
I'm just laughing.
Yeah,
I don't know her, but I'm scared of her. So
No, they're laughing at the fact that I'm laughing the way I am.
She's a big chick, man, and she moves around pretty good in the ring, but she's demented. And you know, Pandora is probably one of the toughest females in wrestling. And I know that I saw Pandora get her head sliced open with a trash can, and they had to carry her to the back because she couldn't continue anymore. And Dementia came back to the locker room laughing. So these are the elements that are in this match are kind of sick, and somebody's gonna get hurt. That's pretty much how I see it. And you know, me and Pandora are cool, and I've had, you know, I sat down and I talked with her about it, and she's dead set on. They're having an I Quit match, by the way. So it is what it is, man. I mean, you know, best of luck to, I guess, to both of them. I don't really know. I can't tell you what the outcome of that is going to be. So I'm going to watch that as well.
I think there's probably. What do you think the over/under for fecal chants is going to be? The religious fecal chant.
Holy shit!
Thank you.
I say the over/under about 10.
I was going to say 5.
I don't know, dude.
I will say this: to give either one of them to say "I quit," this is going to be somebody's going to have to be incapacitated completely. But AJ, how can everyone get in touch with you, sir? I know you have to get up and go to the gym in the morning.
Oh yeah,
or fanfare, whatever.
Instagram, AJ Steele 1, and Facebook. I'm on Facebook. Everybody knows I'm on Facebook. I'm friends with everybody. Once again, Wicked, I appreciate it. I appreciate
Twitter.
You guys letting me talk. Eddie Layne, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Angie, thank you. The silverback Clyde Braddock. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I have the utmost respect for my team, and I'm sorry if I let anybody down. However, come this Saturday, there will be some revenge, and come the next time we're in Pale City. Eddie, what's the date? I'm sorry, I forgot.
June 27th.
June 27th. I'm kicking all the Mad Dog's ass, and if he brings his little flea bags out there, O'Hagan, and I don't even, what's the other guy that walks around look like Jesus? I mean, what's his name?
Robert Cosper.
Yeah, nobody. If he brings that guy out there, and the other little piece of crap that comes out with him, what's his name? Teddy?
Yeah, Theodore Tutwiler from
Teddy,
Foundation.
Yeah. They come out with him. I mean, Teddy has already been dropped on his ass, so he knows what it's like. I don't think he wants anything to do with me. Dan Sawyer, you may want to stay home and babysit that night.
Babysit?
Shit just got real.
Adventures in Babysitting right there with Dan Sawyer. I can see it now.
Shit just got real.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
Oh, good.
Hey, don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. Or if O'Hagan was involved, it'd be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Or The Fly.
Dude, you know, there's a lot. Look, real quick, and I know you guys I gotta go. But you guys have ever met someone that just stands and talks, and you just hear that Charlie Brown want noise, and you just want to punch him in his damn mouth? Have you ever just been around him? And it's like he's always fidgeting and moving. He looks like he's gonna break dance at any given time. Just turn and start doing like a Ninja Turtle shuffle or something. He's an idiot.
He just is hoping somebody will say breakdance.
He is by far the most annoying human being that I have ever met in my life. Outside of Stan Robinson, O'Hagan is by far the most annoying person that I've ever met in my life.
And there you have it, the last words from AJ Steele. AJ, we appreciate you coming on, sir. Thank you so much. This Saturday,
Thank you.
Southern Fried Championship Wrestling Shindig 2. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about global warfare as I go on my rant. I've saved the best for last. Right here, the To Be Determined Show, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and the Beyond Ringside Radio app.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show, every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air. We go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
We are back, the To Be Determined Show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and of course the Beyond Ringside Radio app. Go and check that out. It is up for almost all devices. Still working on the ones that we don't have. I want to give a special shout out to Jeremy Hurst, the Deadhead, and Teresa Hurst. Of course, to everyone listening worldwide. To Daryl B, I know he's listening. To Leon Stresser, Dylan Cook. They went out and put out their best effort. Sometimes your best just isn't enough. It wasn't for all of us. All of us failed. I think we let AJ down. I feel like we let everyone down. Simon Says, of course, destroying Clyde with the chair was definitely unfounded, and everything that happened, he should never have done that. He should never have done anything of what he did. But it happened, and we're here now. So, Spiral, Leon, Dylan, AJ, Steven, and of course Clyde. Sorry, but we let the fans down, and I'm right there with you with that. They're going to get what they deserve, and when they do, it's going to be really bad. Eddie, your thoughts on this as we wrap it up?
Well, let me put the world in proper perspective from my position. It was an honor to be able to call that match regardless of the outcome. And the reason why, you heard me here, you heard me on Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics and live. You've heard me say it live in person. I don't care what the other side called themselves, the powers that be, the foundation of pro wrestling, mental masturbation, preparation MDDS. I don't care. The reason why I put the name, the spirit of GCW in place for this six-man team is very simple. Wick has said on more than one occasion that the Unlucky Charms were not a GCW-based tag teams, that the Sevenfold Saints, even though they take up residency in GCW, they're still not your prototypical GCW tag team, and they've proven that when they go on the road and when Wick goes on the road. You have Leon Stresser, who has worked to build a great transformation, not only in his physical form, but also in his skill set, mindset, and the way he looks at things. Dylan Cook came from a mat-based background and has taken it inside the squared circle and has been learning and learning and learning, just like the Lord of the Limelight, Steve Styles. We talk about the transformation that he's made. Well, let's also talk about the physical transformation that Clyde Braddock has made. Drop the weight, put on the muscle, and just keeps getting freaking stronger. honestly, we've said this in private. We've never said it in public, although it sounded like we did. I genuinely didn't feel that there was a true weak link on the team. Because everybody brought something unique. Whether it was the physical prowess of people like Braddock, Stresser, and Steele. Whether it was the ability to go mat-based or airborne at the drop of the hat, like Styles, like Dylan, and like Spiral. They bring a tenacity and a mindset to the ring. All 6 do. They want to win. They're not of the ilk that they feel that they deserve to win or expect to win. They want to win. And that's part of that spirit of GCW. Wick, you fit into that mix. And I'll sit back and say it like this. I don't care if people want to call you the cool heel, a babyface, a heel, a rule breaker, a rudo, whatever the hell. It doesn't matter what label they pin on you, just like it doesn't matter what label they pin on me. We are who we are regardless. It doesn't matter who's sitting across or standing across the ring from you as a manager, valet, or advisor. You're going to be yourself. And what can you say about Pandora that we haven't said in serious and in jest the entire time? Her coming down to the ringside to offer support, and it almost turned into physical support because you know she'll brawl at the drop of a hat. Well, guess what? In more ways than one, we all got knocked down Saturday night. In more ways than one, we all got our brains kicked in. I said it before and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter the fact that we get knocked down. What makes the spirit of Global Championship Wrestling, the spirit of GCW, what makes this team and the individuals that comprise it unique, and what makes them true in the world and the field and the sport and the business drink of professional wrestling, is the fact that no matter what, we're going to get back up. Even if you freaking kill us, we're going to find a way to get back up. The heart will beat again. The brain will measure activity. The pulse will thump. The lungs will pump air. We will get back up. There will be another day, and there will be another ass-kicking delivered, not received. So for this, the PTB, the powers that be, Mad Dog, O'Hagan, Cosper, the Foundation, however deep that rabbit hole runs, which we still don't honestly know. Down, yes. Hurt, yes. Bleeding, yes. But here's the part you better remember. Recovering, damn right. Ready to stand, yes. And ready to fight? I'll bring back a high school phrase from the 1980s for me. Ready to fight? Fucking A right, buddy. There's a fight on the horizon. We'll be ready. I just pray to God you are. Because if you're not, that foundation and that power, PTB foundation, is going to end up in your cremation. Because we're just going to flat out scorch your ass.
And that's your side of the coin. You got to finish it off.
Oh, there's a little bit more to it. I was going to wait a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and lay this one out there now, and I don't want to kill everything, but I'm just going to tell the truth. Those who know me and have known me for the last few years know that I've been experiencing. I don't always talk about it. I've been experiencing some health problems. The weight is a lot to do with it. The fact that I smoke has a lot to do with it. What all I put my body through has a lot to do with it. This past weekend, starting on Friday, I started dealing with major stress headaches because I've been so worried about this show. Everybody knows the fact, it's a horribly kept secret, the fact that I run GCW's website and their social media and everything else. And there's a certain person, round and round we go. This person and I work together on the graphics. And, I know this was our biggest show of the year. I don't discount any show that we do at Global Championship Wrestling. But the fact of the matter is, I knew this was our WrestleMania moment. And that's why I've been pushing myself a little bit more all the way across the board on the promotion side with the graphics, with the website, with the videos, with everything else that I've been able to do. And coming into Saturday, I was dealing with a horrible, I don't want to call it a migraine. I'm just going to say it was a severe stress headache, and my blood pressure was through the roof. If you'd have put my arm in that little puffy cuff, it would have gone, tilt, bitch. And I got overheated throughout everything that was occurring. I'm driving in my van on the way there, and I've got it on max air front and back as far as my van goes, and I'm still dripping sweat. So I know that I'm severely overheated and just need to go dive into an ice chest. Well, it got worse as the day went on. I had about 4 dizzy spells, and one happened during the main event. And first off, I got dizzy one time. I think it was during the latter part of intermission, and I'd like to thank Veronica Fairchild for not knocking the hell out of me when I put my head on her shoulder, because I was just trying to keep from falling down. During the main, I actually did go down to one knee, and the person, Kaz, was like, "Oh no, you're not doing this on me now. You better get your ass back up." But yeah, I'm taking the world one step at a time, and I know that I've got to do something as far as my physical side goes. So I'm not going to make a bold, valiant statement. Ooh, I'm going to get back in the gym and start pushing myself like never before. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I'm not going to lie. I am going to try to start. I have been trying to take better care of myself. I've been eating healthier. I've cut back on the smoking. I don't drink nearly as much as I used to, as a lot of people do know. But coming into this past Saturday, it was just it was one of those moments where it's a genuine awakening. And I'm taking this world one day at a time, and I know that's cliche as hell, but what do you expect from me? I am Captain Cheesy. Coming out of this weekend, it was a very big, eye-opening experience for me physically, and you all have my word that I'm going to try to do everything I can to take even better care of myself, because I'd like to be around for a little while longer. But this past, getting ready for June 27th, hopefully you will see a slightly better Eddie Layne than you saw on May 30th. I wasn't 100%, and I knew it. And a lot of people go, "Well, you're just the commissioner, you're just the announcer, you're not in-ring talent." Well, you know something? I'm a part of the company, and I'm a part of the families, and if that's the way you feel, fuck off. Hey, you get two in one show today. So
what I want to say is, we're sorry that this happened to you. You can breathe a little easier now. It was a success. I felt that it was our SummerSlam moment, but we'll go into that. I've always, everyone knows that the Junkyard Dog Memorial Tag Team Tournament means a lot to me. Southern Legends Fan Fest, I feel that is GCW's WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
This was amazing. You are 100% correct about that, and I'm so glad that you have taken it to get yourself ready. It is because there is a war coming, and it's straight down the pike of the Circle of Disrespect and the powers that be. They have a shotgun pointed at their head. Their fingers on the trigger. Are they going to pull it? We'll wait and see, because I'm telling you right now, you've pushed some of these kids to the limit. Clyde, Steve, Dylan, and Leon. Spiral added to that. Oh, then you have the wily veteran that is AJ Steele. And then with the support of GCW, let's talk about the fans. We haven't even mentioned them. Was that not one of the hottest crowds that you've ever seen in GCW? They were on fire Saturday night at Pell City Civic Center.
Look, everybody from Hot Ice Wayne Shell to Carol to Joe Nelson and his crew to Amy Payne to the entire Cook family and all the friends that they bring with them to, you name it. Everybody, whether it be on the first row or all the way at the top of the bleachers, everybody was absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to say it like this. I know once again Captain Cheesy is at it again, or Captain Chaos, pick one. But it was an absolute honor and privilege to be able to do what I do in front of a crowd that spectacular. You guys were absolutely tremendous. Everybody in the chairs, everybody in the stands, thank you so much for all the energy you gave.
I cannot wait to see that on YouTube. It's going to be those ones. Of course, they'll save it till right before June 27th, which I completely understand. But when that goes up on YouTube, holy shit. I'm telling you right now. Everyone be ready for that, because that is a video you do not want to miss, and I cannot wait to see. Maybe, just maybe, we can bring in some new faces, and now it's all up to us to keep that 400 strong for the next event. So kudos to everybody out there, and it was a great event. And Eddie, you got to get in shape, that way you can stay around. This is what episode is this?
What?
I don't even know the episode number of the To Be Determined
Oh
show.
God, I can't remember, because remember we did one incarnation, then we're back on a second incarnation. I had to reset the numbers. I want to say that. Look, I want to also say one other thing, and this is from the heart to everybody on the roster, whether it was your first show or whether it was your 100th show, that took the time to click share, to click like, to copy and paste, to post the graphics up. Whether it be on Facebook, on MySpace, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Google+. My God, thank you to everybody, whether it was in the locker room, at the announce table, referees, everybody, in-ring talent especially, to everybody who took the time to help promote the show, as well as yourself. And this is something that's going to be a major rant for me on my side of the coin coming up this weekend. To everybody who helped promote the show, thank you so much. And to those who didn't have 5 seconds to make one little post about it, it ain't all about you, bitch.
And that's where he drops the mic and walks off. We're going to take our next break of the evening. When we come back, we've been serious. Now it's time to get a little lighthearted. So blaze one up wherever you are, pour one back, or just go ahead and say fuck it and do a big line. I don't care. This is the To Be Determined show, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, and we do not condone drug use unless you're an idiot.
I'm an idiot. Can I smoke a joint?
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show, every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air. We go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the To Be Determined show right here on BeyondRingside.com. Greetings, this is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, and let me go ahead and clue you in right off the bat. We do things a little bit differently on the To Be Determined show. We get a little bit more blunt, we get a little bit more adult, we get a little bit more explicit. In other words, this ain't your grandpa's radio show. And, well, it's still ain't your grandpa's wrestling either, so it's kind of like that. So, brace yourself. Anything can happen. Come along for the ride. Anything and everything is to be determined.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Wednesday, and now it is Wrestling Wednesday in the truest sense, or it will be very soon. The To Be Determined show, live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com, and of course the Beyond Ringside Radio app. We've talked a lot about GCW, Global Warfare. Thank you to AJ Steele for coming on. We've talked about Shindig 2, presented by Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. We've spoken about Eddie's health issues. Eddie, we hope that everything works out, because without you, of course, I think we would have to kill someone, or maybe we'd have to hire an Asian child to run the soundboard. I don't know. They know more than me. That's all I know.
I thought you were going to say a parakeet for a minute there. It's like,
oh hell no! You couldn't train a parakeet to do the soundboard.
Go to the ring, asshole.
I'm like, whoa, do you hear that? Sounds just like Eddie. But there has been a lot of buzz elsewhere.
Oh, yes.
A lot of buzz. Besides, of course, the whole Impact, Ring of Honor, Destination America, Love Triangle. You also have, I think, one of the surprises of the year so far. In WWE, on Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Kevin Owens, formerly Kevin Steen, set the wrestling world on fire. Absolutely on fire. By beating John Cena for the United States Heavyweight Championship. You saw this match. Your thoughts on it?
I will say this from the bottom of my heart, genuinely speaking, I think it's a match of the year candidate in anybody's book. This transcended sports entertainment. This transcended the typical WWE formula. This basically took everything back to the roots because John Cena, for those who thought, and I said this on Sunday, I said it last night, for those who thought that John Cena was on the backside of his in-ring career, he showed this past Sunday night at Elimination Chamber that not only does he still got it, there ain't no doubt he never lost it. I see he's been saving up for a rainy day. It must have been raining the other night. It must have been raining Sunday night because he uncorked everything. And then Kevin Owens. And this is something where I'm probably going to get some heat from the host of this show. Kevin Steen, a person that Wicked Nemesis couldn't personally stand being in the ring because he felt like well, for his own reasons. I'll leave it at that and I'll let him explain that. Kevin Steen, who's somebody who I've been behind for a while now, and I appreciate the body of work that he built up in Ring of Honor as well as some of the other promotions around the country. When I heard that he'd been picked up by WWE, I'm sitting back going, this could be quite interesting because he is not the typical WWE guy. And then all of a sudden, he makes that appearance on Raw. And lo and behold, they set it up. I'm going, there is no way that they're going to kill the NXT champion in ring, but there's no way that they're going to kill John Cena with the U.S. title. Both mean too much. They put out a match of the year candidate that is the epitome of the phrase, it could have gone either way. Although I will say this, there were more blown finishers in that one match than there were in a season of Ring of Honor. Take that one for what it's worth, kids. But these two absolutely nailed it. For people who don't like anything, they're actually praising this match, and I'm very happy to hear that. For the people who still sit back and say, I'm going to cancel the network, get a fucking life, please. 3-in-1 show. And get over yourself. If you want to cancel the network, cancel the network. Don't go around, I'm going to cancel the network. Well, just cancel it, you dumb bitch. And then the promo that they cut, the in-ring interaction from Monday Night Raw, oh my God, was on the same level as the match itself. They nailed it. Setting up for the show in 2 weeks at whatever it's going to be this time. Oh, Money in the Bank, that's it. The in-ring, the dialogue that John Cena and Kevin Owens had this past Monday night was just as good as the match from Sunday. They nailed it again. Wick?
I wish we had the audio because I didn't hear that. All I saw was the buzz. My Twitter exploded, just boom, 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 boom.
It was that good.
I've heard it was. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of great things about it. And as you said, people who don't like a lot of things had a lot to say about it, and they were all good. So, but I wish we had the clip from Raw from Monday because I missed all of that.
Hang on, I'm looking.
No, no, you don't have to bring it up. I'm sure we'll get flagged if we go up on YouTube or some shit. So
as long as we don't do music, they're okay with that. They're okay with the talking part.
Oh, for now. But then the Google Nazis will take over.
Of course.
Hey, I took down 31 videos on my YouTube. There were by a lot of them, of course, the To Be Determined show and Beyond Ringside for the music we used. I didn't realize that Rush was so popular.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and I got flagged for it. I mean, I know they're a great band. I know they're globally loved, but so many of my videos for old Beyond Ringside interviews and complete shows were flagged. So anything that was under 20 views got erased, I'm sorry to say. And anything that was blocked in any country was erased, except for the To Be Debacled which was the show where Joey Image lost his fucking mind.
I'm still doing some quick looking.
Oh, you don't have to. I mean, it's quite all right. I will listen to it after the show. So. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being the greatest, what was your rating on this match for Elimination Chamber?
8.5.
Elimination Chamber.
The John Cena Kevin Owens match, 8.5, easy, close to a 9.
And the pay-per-view itself?
7.5 because of the Divas match being horrible.
Wow, that bad.
No surprise there.
Anything that stood out from the pay-per-view other than this, because this is eclipsed anything that they've done as of lately. And and before we say anything, my problem with Kevin Cena is he was out of shape, and he wore a T-shirt. He looked like a trash bagger.
Yeah, he did.
But now he has some custom pants, of course, and he has an officially licensed shirt from the WWE, which, I mean, and the guy's gotten into shape. And some of his moves were rather sloppy.
Overall, I'm just going to sit back and say the pay-per-view itself was a good show. I actually sat back and subjected myself to watching the Divas match, and I'm going to go gouge my eyes out after that one because Naomi has regressed something fierce. Nikki, for as much as she came forward, just seemed like she was full of herself. And I don't know if a Bella's supposed to be a babyface or a heel or what. I mean, I'm sorry. And Paige didn't even look like herself in that match.
What was Paige's injury?
I really don't remember. Honestly, I do not remember. But like I said, the bright shining moment. Now, I will say this: the Ambrose Rollins match. I hate to say it got really outshone by Cena and Owens, but by the same token, Cena and Owens did what they were supposed to do. They threw down the gauntlet for the main event, and Ambrose, Rollins, they lived up to it. They took it to they actually had a great match, and I would love to see these two go at it any day of the week. And I said this on Tuesday night, and I said it Sunday night for the wrap-up show with Wrestle Rage. For everybody on the internet wrestling community, for all you IWCers, if you watch that main event and you're going to sit back and say, oh man, this is typical WWE bullshit, screw you, get a life, better yet, leave wrestling. Just leave it alone, walk away, go away, bye-bye. Because you didn't get Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins this past Sunday night. For everybody who wants to sit back and say, well, man, I want to see Jon Moxley and Tyler Black. Well, guess what, bitches? You got it. Because these two didn't wrestle a WWE match. They wrestled a pure Jon Moxley versus Tyler Black match. And it looked real good. Hell, even John Cena could have stood tall on the indies with the match he worked against Kevin Owens. That would have been a classic at Ring of Honor, much less anywhere else. And yeah, that's a WWE top 5 match of the year right now. So yeah, the pay-per-view was worth it. Excuse me, the $9.99 per-view was worth it. And it would have been worth it as a pay-per-view because of those two matches right there. The 2 Elimination Chamber matches were decent. They were good, they weren't great. Too many combustible elements that had never been inside of an Elimination Chamber before. Both matches. And it just wasn't, neither match was great. They were both okay to good. And I'll leave it at that.
3 years ago on Beyond Ringside, yourself, Mabo, and I were discussing where WWE was going. And we were talking about NXT. And we were talking about the plethora of talent from professional wrestling and from the indies coming into the NXT system. Now look, you have Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, you have Kevin Owens, you have Samoa Joe, you have Kenta when he comes in, you have Sami Zayn as El Generico, of course. There are a lot of talented guys that have spent years. Finn Balor.
Yeah, and don't forget Pac, who is now Neville.
I'm so sorry, of course, Adrian Neville. I mean, those guys, man, I mean, they spent years, they honed their craft on the independent scene. And you look at all the guys in NXT, a lot of those guys have a lot of years. The future is bright for WWE.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's thanks to, of course, Vince for laying the foundation, Vince Sr., but Triple H and what he's done and what he was allowed to do in NXT. He is what's best for business because he's allowed these guys to go out and just completely wrestle in an entertaining environment. Copyright that. Hold on, Brian. Get on legal.com. Copyright. We have seven laptops running right now. So
there you go.
We're sitting over here in this tranquil environment. You know, Xanadu, and literally there's birds, squirrels, rabbits all around us.
And don't forget the buffalo.
And the buffalo. And then here we are with 7 laptops running a live, not a podcast, and even when it goes up, it's a Beyondcast, a live internet radio show talking about wrestling. And it all goes back to independent wrestling. You got to see it at GCW this past Saturday. You get to see it at Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. You get to see it at UIW. You get to see it at Peach State. You get to see it at Anarchy. You get to see it all around the Southeast. But, Angie, as a fan, you were able to, you knew some of these guys before they went to NXT, and you get to see what they do now. What are your thoughts on this, and what are your thoughts on the independent scene?
Well, I was going to first say, as an independent wrestling fan, what a great opportunity is for these young guys coming up who, unfortunately, didn't have the training that you had. They didn't have the training that Clyde Braddock had, that Steven Styles had, that, you know, the training that AJ Steele gives. But what a great opportunity for those who have been working, say, 5 years in the business as well, to look at these guys in NXT and say, look, they've been busting their ass 10 years in the independent scene, all around the same scene that I travel. And look at what their hard work has gotten them. You know, look at where they are now. So I just think it's a great opportunity for everyone. And it's like you said, I know some of these guys. I've seen some of these guys independently. So I think it's great for everyone involved and great for WWE, like you pointed out.
Yes, I guess an airplane's flying above our head. I do apologize.
Yes, we are, you know.
In the Himalayas? we're up in altitude, I'll give you that.
Yes.
And, it's probably the wind. I do apologize if there's a wind sound because
the air is thick here.
So, there you go, Eddie. NXT, great for business, getting the superstars of today ready. I mean, of tomorrow ready today.
And you know what impresses me the most about the whole circumstance is the fact that Triple H himself is not afraid to go flying somewhere. I mean, yeah, granted, he gets a short vacation out of the deal, but the fact of the matter is he gets an opportunity to personally look at some of these individuals and see exactly what he feels that they can bring to the table for the WWE product, whether it be at NXT or main roster. And to see a number of the individuals that have come up onto the main roster after tearing it up at the NXT level has just been absolutely tremendous. And, you know, I'm one of the first ones who will sit back and say something about a company bringing in somebody just because, and I used to shred TNA for this all the time. When you bring in somebody that used to be WWE talent, just for the fact you think they can pull an additional 0.1 as far as the ratings go, you know, I'm watching Lucha Underground, and I'm sitting back looking at, like, Daivari, and I'm going, yeah, okay, we'll give him a chance. It's been a while. And then they have Big Rick, who a lot of people knew as Ezekiel Jackson. Then you have Alberto El Patron, one-trick pony. And then you have people like John Morrison, once again, flamboyant in the ring, great professional worker in the ring, but the fact of the matter is...
Hold on. I'm sorry. Did you say that El Patron was a one-trick pony?
I said Alberto Del Rio, Alberto El Patron in my book is a one-trick pony.
I wholeheartily disagree with that. But
in the United States, perhaps.
I think even his work in the WWE speaks for itself. He was very stiff, but I mean, guys like that are good for business because there's some people that do not know how to sell, and they learn very quickly how to sell, and he gave it to them. Was he a little rough around the
JBL's
edges?
retired now, so we need someone like that.
We have him. His name is Francisco Chiazza.
Well, I meant
yes.
WWE needs someone like that.
Well, Ring of Honor, and I guess he's strictly working for Ring of Honor now.
No. Who? Alberto?
Yes, sir.
No, he's been on Ring of Honor. He's been on Lucha Underground more than that, and he's still doing AAA and Mega down there. I mean AAA because he's the AAA Mega Champion.
Well, I knew it was AAA, but I was talking about North America. Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints up in the United States of America.
No, he's doing both Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor.
North America. I know Mexico's part of North America. Damn it. But anyways, I disagree with that. But John Morrison's awesome too. I think he should have been Casey Jones instead of Stephen Amell, but I digress. And are we going to talk about Sheamus being in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2?
Oh, rock steady.
He has a wicked nemesis.
Yes, that's why he has a wicked nemesis hairdo, has been pointed out.
By the way, I was glad to see the return of the Mohawk this past Saturday night.
I know. This beautiful, gorgeous, fantastic human being sitting beside me is the reason why it was like that. Not you, Brian. It's my Angie, of course. So, Angie, what are your thoughts on the Mohawk coming back?
Oh, I've missed the Mohawk more than anyone, so always excited to see the Mohawk. And it was a pleasure doing it again.
Eddie?
Oh, dude.
Your thoughts on independent wrestling?
Look, I've said this for a while, and I'm not going to... Huh?
Said since I interrupted you about it.
Oh, no, it's cool.
I know, I tend to do that a lot. I apologize.
It wouldn't be you if you didn't, just like it wouldn't be me if I didn't. We're even. I'm not going to use the word revolution because everybody still pins that word to Extreme Championship Wrestling, the old ECW, but I'm going to say the Renaissance is in place. And right now, more than ever, I'm not going to say that a company like WWE is feeling the heat. I'm going to sit back and say that a company like WWE has opened their eyes. Because Vince has finally had to understand that there's more than just his way as far as getting ratings go. I pray right now that Impact is able to stay on Destination America. I am so glad that Ring of Honor is now on Destination America and still being shown on in syndication and on Sinclair. I am tickled purple, much less pink, to the factor of Lucha Underground doing as well as they are. And then you have companies like Global Championship Wrestling, you have Peach State UIW, you have NWA Atlanta, you have Fusion out of Virginia, you have so many different, NWA Houston, throw that one out there, Lone Star Wrestling. You've got some great promotions out there that work on a localized level, that get it and are trying to push to the next level. Well, Luke Gallows started his own promotion over in Barnesville. Just hope everybody booked actually shows up. What's up, LG? You know what I mean. No, that wasn't through the crosshairs, even though there was I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm under orders. Damn it. Some things I just love to say right now. I guess I'll just put all those words in an envelope and send them off to Hawaii. And...
Thank you, Maddie.
What?
Never mind.
But the fact of the matter stands, it doesn't matter if you're in Birmingham, Alabama, Los Angeles, California, Tacoma, Washington, Lynchburg, Virginia, Gloucester, Virginia, actually, the Gloucester Fieldhouse. Seminar with Brutal Bob Evans and Kevin Kelly in August. Dude, you got to go to that. It's a great time in pro wrestling. The Renaissance has begun all over again. And it's going to continue to get even better. All the way across the country, all the way around the world, televised, not televised, internet. It's going to keep getting better because people are finally starting to wake up. Not just in the stands, not just in front of their TV sets, but in the locker room too. there's some people actually starting to wake up and smell the cocoa. And it's about damn time.
We're going to take our last break of the evening live from Xanadu in beautiful out in the nowhere zone, I guess we want to say. And of course, from the Magic City Studios from beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up like we're fucking a French whore right here on the To Be Determined Show, live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show. Every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air, we go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
When I say I'm going to do something, I deliver. When I got to NXT and I said I was going to win the NXT title, I delivered. When I said I was going to take out Sami Zayn, I delivered. And when I said I was going to leave John Cena laying in the middle of the ring at Elimination Chamber, I delivered. I spoke to my son, who, like pretty much every other kid that watches WWE, is a huge John Cena fan. He's a kid. He's a kid. And when we talked, all he could say was, "Daddy, how's John? Is he okay? Is John Cena all right?" And you know, I get it, because he's been watching Cena for years. But just because I understand doesn't mean I think it's okay. See, because it's not his fault, it's not my boy's fault, because what it is blind worship. Spurred on by the fact that for the last decade, John Cena has been portrayed as a living, breathing, real-life superhero. No, but think about it. Think about it. The bright colors, the powerful catchphrases, hustle, loyalty, respect. Never give up. You know what? While I traveled the world for over 10 years, owning my craft in hopes of one day making it to WWE, my son was being influenced by John Cena. That's when John Cena became the hero to my son that I never got the chance to be, because I wasn't featured on WWE television every week.
If I say or if I wear the words "never give up," not only am I telling the truth, but I am encouraging young and old all alike, like that person right there, to do the exact same thing. And by the way, you keep fighting and you never give up. You understand that? And that's from me. Three words. You would be amazed, Mr. Owens, at how those three words can affect people's lives. It would be like working day in and day out for a decade, trying for an opportunity, being told time after time you're never going to make it, but still scratching and clawing, and finally the day comes when opportunity knocks, and you don't just answer the door, you kick it down, you raise your hand, and you say, the champ is here! And that is exactly what happened to you last night, Kevin Owens. Do you see the 3 words that define the life journey of Kevin Owens are not fight, Owens, fight. And this one is going to be a tough pill to swallow, Holmes, because the 3 words that define Kevin Owens are never give up. A bit of advice, man to almost man. Think before you speak, because you just said you deliver on every promise, but in 2 weeks at Money in the Bank, you are going to have to explain how a really good wrestler couldn't deliver on a promise because he got his ass kicked by a real man.
That is how you do a back and forth. Even calling him Super Cena, as Eddie clearly pointed out in production chat. That's Kevin Owens, and Angie actually come up with a very good point you wanted to say.
I just wanted to know when did Kevin Owens become Spiral? His accent is very, very similar.
Your dog.
I'm just glad he didn't cuss.
Yes.
It's not the to be determined show. He can't do it.
Yeah, I know that's hard for some people. Everyone knows I cuss. But once you get on a microphone, once you've done it so many times, you just learn not to. And that's one of the problems I also had with Kevin Steen was his promos. Thank God Kevin Owens can still do a Kevin Steen promo, and of course not cursed. Because,
he's as bad as One Man Crew.
Oh, he's about as bad as One Man Crew. One Man Crew can't do anything right.
No, true that.
He's a coat hanger dodger.
Especially around Bull Buchanan.
Oh my God, dear God, yes.
And Anthony, I love you, brother, but it's true. You know that.
Oh, I'll say it. He could fuck up a wet dream.
But see, they didn't. That was actually from the official WWE YouTube site, and they didn't keep the entire thing in its integrity, But I will sit back and say this: like I said, when Kevin Owens popped out with the word Super Cena, I fell out of my chair, going pop like a big dog, because it was perfect. It was a thing of beauty. And Cena comes down, and like I said, there is John Cena over the last few weeks, especially since picking up the U.S. Championship. But he's been doing it longer than that. This is a man who can go into Bizarro World. This is a man who can go into the hostile territories, the hostile cities in Canada, the UK, Mississippi, and just take a hostile audience and make them his own to where they're chanting his phrases with him by the end of the promo. That takes, and I hate to use this term, but I'm going to use it anyway, that takes a magical personality on the microphone to be able to do that with a crowd. He did it in Montreal. He's done it in Chicago. He's done it in Jersey. He did it Monday at the Long Island. And he did it this past. I mean, you got to give the man credit. Wick said it. John Cena is the preeminent and premier sports entertainer of our lifetime. And he's proving it on the microphone and proving it in the ring all over again.
What I want to know is, we had a conversation with Brian Zane and Dara O'Connor. And when I told them that I felt that he was the greatest sports entertainer of our lifetime, and maybe of all time, arguably, I was talking about how Cena puts guys over. And they laughed it off. And I respect Brian Zane. He has a great YouTube channel, Wrestling with Regret, with the W. go out and buy his T-shirt. And he had a great review of Elimination Chamber on his YouTube channel. Go and check that out.
Yeah,
but they
his
left it
reviews
off.
are spot on usually.
Now we've also interviewed Eric Santamaria, formerly of Wrestling Roundtable, on YouTube. There are old videos you can actually go back and watch. Very good insight, very good episodes. Those are still up, but they are no longer filming them. He put out a very good tweet, and I agree wholeheartedly with this. Where are all the people that bitch that Cena never puts anybody over? Because he's done nothing but that, especially since winning that U.S. title. And even with Rusev.
Yeah.
And before then.
I got to argue the Rusev point because he really didn't help Rusev go over anymore. If nothing else, it's going to take Rusev just as long as it took Bray Wyatt to recover so he can get any kind of momentum back.
I don't think so, but, you know.
I mean, he made what's his name? Zack Ryder look like $1 million recently. But then Zack Ryder got his WrestleMania moment from heaven. I mean, think about it. Zack Ryder, the Long Island Iced Z, and got his moment in the Nassau Coliseum, Long Island, New York, the final WWE live event or event period in Nassau Coliseum. He was introduced by the cast of Entourage to face John Cena in the U.S. Open. Cena makes him look like $1 million, and after the match is over with, Cena, Ryder, and the cast of Entourage do the curtain call in the middle of the ring. Zack Ryder can die a happy man after that match.
Well, I'm going to say that Bray Wyatt's problem was that the fans loved him. The fans got so behind him, WWE didn't know what to do. But he's versatile enough that he can be face or heel, and still he can either make you boo him or make you cheer him that quick.
Yeah.
So, but Rusev, of course, getting the un-American heat, which, you know, you gotta love. That is, you know, USA chants all day long. So that's always good cheap heat, and Simon Says knows a lot about that.
Oh, yeah.
So there you have it. Eddie, final thoughts for the week that is professional wrestling, or was professional wrestling.
You know,
Wednesday to this Wednesday.
I made a post on the Beyond Ringside Friends page that was from a good friend of the family, the Memfo Mofo. And it's from his website and his Tumblr site. It's called What Mofo Sees. I challenge right now everybody listening to this show, whether you are a fan, passive, casual, or passionate, whether you are a trainee, a dreamer, a rookie, or a veteran, whether you're in-ring talent, support staff, doesn't matter. I want you to look this up, and I want you to read it. Because the conversation that Mofo and I had last night on Back to Basics, the Tuesday conversation, we talked about that quite a bit, the column that he wrote, the weblog, whatever you want to call it. And this is something that I took from Saturday night into my commentary on Sunday, into this interview, after even with reading what he wrote. There is no such thing as the perfect personality in professional wrestling. There is no such thing as the perfect worker. There's no such thing as the perfect wrestler. Why? Because we can all still learn something. It doesn't matter how big or how small the lesson. Whether it be staying in the locker room and actually watching the monitor, and if you don't have a monitor, look through the door or through the curtain. Whether it's getting gear that makes you look professional. Whether it's greeting everybody, whether they're brand new, whether it's your first day in the locker room or somebody else's. Make it a point to go up and say hello and introduce yourself. Showing respect. You want to be called a professional wrestler? By God, you act like a professional. You want to work in professional wrestling? By God, you act like a professional. And I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your training is, who trained you, how many matches you've worked. If you worked one match or 1,000 matches. We all need to remember, those who pay their hard-earned money to come to the shows look to us to be the professional in professional wrestling. Are you the pro in pro wrestling? You have to ask yourself that. I can answer it if I know you. But only you can have that moment of illumination and realization to where in your heart you can say, yes, I'm being professional. For my cohorts, for my compadres, for my fellow workers and wrestlers, and for the fans. Remember, the pro in pro wrestling should be you. Period.
Angie, anything you'd like to say about the week of professional wrestling that was?
Well, I feel like we all need a stiff drink after that one. That was
okay. I got one for you.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Thank you, Eddie.
Not a problem.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to give a shout out to my brother-in-law, Murder One, for having the best post I've seen on Facebook in a while. He made the point that what's her name now? Caitlyn Jenner looks much like Dixie Carter these days.
I was going to say Stifler's mom.
Uh-huh. So shout out to Murder for that one. 322. And also, I'm going to quote unquote, as they say in wrestling, put myself over for a minute and give a warning to other people. When I was needed in the ring after last weekend's event, I threw the Wicked Nemesis mask on the ground. I threw the Wicked Nemesis jacket on the ground.
Oh, shit.
I was wearing 6-inch plus heels. And I don't even remember getting in the ring to get to one Mr. AJ Steele. And I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I'm also still quite sore from that whole experience because, as we all know, I'm not much of a runner these days. But remember this. I may not be so quick to get in the ring next time. So just that's some food for thought. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Until next week's show.
What she was referring to is the fact that AJ suffered a neck injury, and we had to get some medical attention to him. And Angie, of course, being the registered nurse and licensed nurse with the athletic commission for GCW, we had to call her in the ring to make sure that we were able to get him out the right way so we didn't cause him any further damage.
And thankfully, I think it's safe to say we were able to do so. I have to say that.
So, I want to say thank you to AJ and to everybody else on the GCW roster for an amazing event. Thank you to everyone that listens to us live right here. My week of wrestling was go ahead and get ready for the YouTube video for GCW that is to come. So, Eddie, last words, final thoughts, and how can everyone get in touch with you, sir?
Let's run this at warp speed right now. Coming up tomorrow, Thursday, June 4th, 9 o'clock p.m. Central, 10 Eastern. The show with Ted Guinness. When SmackDown goes off the air, Ted Guinness goes live, and there's a lot to talk about coming out of this past weekend and everything that's happening with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. And remember, Money in the Bank, not that far away. The trifecta returns on June 7th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central, Beyond Ringside Live. Yours truly, Wicked Nemesis and Mark Maybo Bowman. At 8 o'clock p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, it will be Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan at their regularly scheduled time. And at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, the return of the Midnight Black Mass Season 6, Episode number 2. And there's a very special guest this week playing one of their brand new games called Promo or Porno. You gotta listen to get it, kids. That's all I'm gonna say. And the way that they've changed things around, actually Beyond Ringside Sports Radio gets the premiere of the Midnight Black Mass. So you get it here before you get it on the Potty Humor Network, PODDY Humor Network. So, like I said, check it out. This coming Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific. Oh, boy. And they've taken it late night and then some. It's going to be good. The Midnight Black Mass with the Reverend Dan Wilson and Andrew Alexander. And, of course, on Tuesday the 9th, the return of Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I've got a couple of things in the works, and it's going to be cool. Remember, keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all upcoming show information, and watch the media page at BeyondRingside.com for links to all the shows. And remember, when we go off the air live, recorded recent episodes and interviews will stay in full rotation from the entire Beyond Ringside family of shows. For me personally, at Fast Eddie Layne on Twitter. FastEddieLane.com is the web address. Friday night, 9 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings, Alabaster. And on Saturday night, 7 p.m. this week, Jake's Southern and Caribbean Cafe. I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to have a lot of fun this coming Saturday night. Wick, back to you.
Is it Southern Caribbean or Southern Caribbean or Caribbean?
Jake's Southern and Caribbean Cafe.
Oh, Southern and. So you have like Caribbean jerk chicken.
Oh yeah,
and Southern fried chicken side by side.
Yes, they do actually, and the Southern fried chicken and waffles is really good.
And where is this again?
On Pelham Parkway, right at County Road 68.
I think somebody just got shot.
It's a drive-by.
This is drive-by on a moped. Okay, Angie, how can everyone get in touch with you?
On Twitter, Angie_Nemesis, and on Instagram, Ginger Goddess.
And of course, the To Be Determined shows, the Sevenfold Saints, the Wicked Nemesis, and the Unlucky Charms all have Facebook fan pages. Give us a like and a share if you'd like to. Thank you to AJ Steele for coming on. Thank you to Clyde Braddock for coming on. Eddie, as always, thank you. Angie, as always, thank you. Thank you, Brian, for once again letting us do the show live from Xanadu. So, for Angie Travis, for Fast Eddie Layne.
Remember, you can keep it in any gear you want, but only I can keep it in fast forward.
And speaking of forward, don't be a maybe, be a definite forever forward. Good night, good luck, and as always, leave your week to be determined. I am the Orc of Ominous, the architect of intellect, the Wicked Nemesis. Good night.